Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo.
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another absolutely crazy 10 pounds of murder in a 2-pound bag edition of Small Town Murder Express. We are very excited to get to this wild story. Before we do, though, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. What's there, you may ask? Tickets. Tickets, and more tickets. Tickets to live shows, everybody, starting out with February the 21st in Nashville. Still some tickets left for that. Get in there and get them now. March 6th in Durham, North Carolina. March 6th or March 7th in Atlanta. And then, of course, the March 21st Your Stupid Opinions live show in Phoenix. The March 20th Phoenix live show is sold out. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all of that and more. Get all your merchandise and everything like that. Then you should get yourself Patreon.
Please do.
Do yourself a favor. Patreon.com/crime in sports, just like the name of our other show that you should definitely check out. Also, Your Stupid Opinions. But definitely get yourself Patreon. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get everything we put out. You get a huge back catalog of bonus episodes you've never heard before immediately upon subscription. You get new ones every other week, one crime in sports, one small town murder, and you get it all. Including this week, no different. For crime and sports this week, we're going to talk about William Tank Black, who was a college football coach turned agent. Oh. Master P is involved in that somehow, and then he turned criminal after that. So it's a mess. He did a reverse Master P.
Why did Master P do that all the time?
He probably made a bunch of money.
To get involved in. Yeah, I get it, but...
And then that's a big thing. It happens a lot.
Good point. Why does anybody do anything, James?
What are we doing here? Yeah, well, we'd be here anyway. But and then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about that Perfect Neighbor documentary. Yeah. The one on Netflix. And we've been asked a million times to do this for Patreon. So we're going to do it. A lot of also supplemental stuff on YouTube. You can find all the body cams and all that kind of thing. Very, very interesting. Patreon.com/crime in sports. And in addition to that, you get a shout out at the end of the regular show. And you get everything we put out, all of our shows, all ad-free as well.
It's all for you.
Can't beat Patreon, guys. That's it. So do that. Get yourself Patreon. I think it's time here, everybody.
All right.
I think it's time to sit back. What do you say? Let's all clear the lungs. What do you say? Yeah. Arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody.
All right.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
We've got to.
Let's go to Rhode Island.
Fine.
It's been a long time since we've been in Rhode Island. It's such a small state.
Yeah.
That
it's a small town in itself.
It's hard to find murders there that aren't Providence-based, because that's pretty much... That's the main city.
There's only two cities, right? Between Providence and that other one.
That one. This is North Smithfield, Rhode Island we're going to.
All right.
It's in north central Rhode Island, which really is about half a mile away from southeastern Rhode Island. It doesn't really matter. It's about an hour to Boston, so it's commutable. People don't realize that Rhode Island is a Boston suburb.
Oh, it's right there.
It's there, and it's all of like the TV. It's all the local Boston stations, and you're gonna hear that accent when they're on the news.
Oh, you bet.
Everything like that. 25 minutes to East Providence, Rhode Island. Our last Rhode Island episode 508. That's how long ago. This is 674. Jesus. That's how long ago it was. Yeah. July of 2024 was the last time we
60-something.
Wow,
episodes.
That's a year and a half. And that was Stopping a Serial Killer was the name of that. I'd love to tell you more about it, but it was a year and a half ago, and I don't remember. So
it's been a minute.
I bet it was a good one, though. I know that.
Positive.
This is in Providence County, area code 401. Population here 12,537. So
that's a good-sized town for Rhode Island.
Decent, but still a small town.
Small town.
I mean, you're very close to other places, though. You're only 25 minutes from Providence. So the median household income here above the national average, it's $87,121. And you're going to need that because the median home cost also above the national average,
$430 Rhode Island.
Yeah, $430,000 is the median home cost. It's a little pricey, and they're not, spectacular large homes or anything like that. A little bit of history of this town we'll get through. In the 17th century, so the 1600s here, British colonists settled North Smithfield. They developed it into a farming community and named it after Smithfield, London, England.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got to do that. And then I'm sure there's towns like in Nebraska named Smithfield that are named after somebody who was from Rhode Island who...
I'll bet that pork plant is named after England, too.
That's possible, yep. It was incorporated as North Smithfield in 1871. In the early 1700s, a Quaker colony developed in North Smithfield here. Yeah. And today they used to have a bunch of industry, but today really the industry that I found was Berrico Yarns. They make yarn.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a continuation of the original family-owned woolen company established in 1809.
Is Berrican, is that the brand or is that a type of yarn?
I think it's the brand. Probably Berroco. I think it's Berrico Yarns.
When there's a co on the end, generally a company.
That's usually a company. We've never been to North Smithfield. We don't know anything about it. Let's find out what other people think about it with some reviews. What do you say here? Here's 5 stars. Okay. I love how everyone knows everyone. Why does everyone always say that in every 5-star review?
It's a big deal to people to be recognized.
I guess so.
People want that.
Why? Why do they want to go everywhere and have to see somebody? Don't you ever want to just put a hat on in your warm-ups and go get a pack of cigarettes or whatever you're getting, and orange juice at the store, and not have to wait to 6 people?
You want to be stopped everywhere you go and asked about the kids? Fuck the kids.
Jesus. You have to see everyone you went to high school with every goddamn time you leave the house. I don't want to do that.
You know everything about me. They're alive. It's fine.
Yeah, they're there. Look, I saw them. That's good enough. Everyone knows everyone, and people are always willing to help out if someone is in need. Neighbors pull together to help each other, and the whole town looks out for one another.
I guess that's the benefit, James. When you know everything about everybody, you know when somebody's struggling, and you don't just make fun of them.
They don't help each other. No, they don't. Yeah. Normally, they just go, I hear Bob and Susan are losing their house, and then they go on continuing with what they're doing. No one helps out.
They say they're helping. What do we know?
I don't think I would want anything to change. I love to close-knit. I think the is what they're going for. I love the close-knit environment North Smithfield provides. All right, here's 3 stars. Okay. The only concern I have is the potholes.
That's the only one?
That's it. There are so many potholes that it feels as though my car could fall into one, which would be a very large pothole. Only in Michigan. Only Michigan is that possible.
I've seen it.
I've seen a car just disappear completely.
Wild.
We were like, wow, someone notify the family. I don't know what to say. They're gone. Center of the earth. It must be.
But, for the taxes that New England pays, there should be 0 potholes.
Yeah, probably. I don't know what they are in Rhode Island, but I assume.
Yeah, I don't know if it's higher or lower than that. Might be the allure of not living in Massachusetts.
Maybe.
Here. I don't know.
Here's 2 stars. I don't think there are many places in my town where people can get jobs. A lot of people who have jobs have to travel 20 minutes or so to the bigger city. 20 minutes?
Holy shit.
Do you know anyone in Phoenix that works less than 20 minutes away from their job?
No. And
never.
Phoenix is becoming further and further away from Phoenix. It is forever.
Jimmy lives like an hour and a half from Phoenix. It's so far.
It's crazy to get into town now.
It's wild.
Like if you have to drive into downtown or anywhere near where there's like commerce, it's hours to get anywhere.
It's so frustrating. It's
the traffic. People talk about New York and L.A. and Chicago traffic. Phoenix is just as bad.
Yeah, it's not. If we go to L.A.,
it's pretty fun.
You never sit
LA's
for
the
40 minutes or anything. And Atlanta, too, is a horror show.
I've never been able to see my destination and then it's still take an hour and 20 to get there. Yeah. I've never seen that before. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've done that in New York going to like a Yankee game. You go, the stadium's right there.
I could see that. Yeah.
Here's 2 stars. I don't think there are many places. Oh, that's to get jobs. Okay. However, new stores are being built, so that means there will be some more opportunities available. Oh, good for that.
Oh, yeah. Retail jobs. Love those.
Terrific.
Those are the best.
Things to do here. The North Smithfield Great Pumpkin Festival.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Fall. It's just do they love fall.
It's a one-day event at the North Smithfield High School.
One day?
One day, featuring kids' games and competitions, art and other demonstrations, Great food and lots of pumpkins. Oh, boy.
Are you even in New England if it's only one fucking day? It's fall, for Christ's sake.
Admission is $2 at the door.
Oh, so
that's nothing much. And then there's root stock.
What is that?
That is a agricultural thing with music. So it's root like Woodstock, but with roots.
What about the,
Says, we couldn't be more excited to welcome you to this annual celebration of music, nature, art, and community.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of like plants. Literally, you can be like, can I get a clipping off your fig tree? And like, that's part of it. And then there's all these bands. Here we go. Experience, not spelled even close to experience. It just says,
just the letter X.
Expense. Expeince. Expense up and up and coming local bands. Expense them.
Oh, that's not the name of a band.
No,
it's just them telling you how to do it.
How to do it.
Expense it, yeah.
Coventry-based quartet Sesh brings a jam-inspired mix of genres and improvisation.
Oh, because it's a jam sesh, James.
No thanks, Fish. You can.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Exist.
Courtney and Brad.
Oh, nice. Just the first name.
Now, what does that sound like to you, Courtney and Brad?
Country as fuck, right?
Nope. They add their signature blend of Japanese language songs, playful banter, and expert musicians. Did you think that's what it was going to be?
Courtney and Brad do that?
Courtney's going to bust some Japanese out. No problem. Courtney's got this covered. You don't understand what Courtney's about. You're underestimating Courtney.
Yeah.
Romxen? ROMXN. Romxen? I don't know. Deliver sounds designed to make audiences move and feel. Is that music or just sounds?
Rammstein? I don't know.
Don't know. Hopper offers a whimsical yet thoughtful blend of influences ranging from pop, rock, to backyard archaeology. What is that? None of this music makes sense to me. I can't figure this.
That is my new genre of music. I'm telling people.
Backyard archaeology. Yeah, I'm super into backyard archaeology. What's that?
If you don't know, it's going to be hard to talk to you about.
How am I supposed to explain this to someone who's just not cool? You're not hip. That's the problem.
If you don't
get
know.
It. Yeah, I can't be the one to tell you. Poppy in the Beat Patch.
Yeah.
Set full of music, memories, and laughter. Space Cowboy Newt. NEWT merges classical harp with dreamy psychedelic pop.
What?
And then Of the Sun, whose ritual-inspired soundscapes create an immersive and otherworldly listening experience. This is the weirdest lineup we've ever seen. And then, of course, Ludacris. No, I'm just kidding. He's not here, actually. But
is this supposed to be inspired by like psychedelics and shit? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, maybe it's everybody's supposed to. Maybe the root part is just all mushrooms, and that's what people are doing.
It's subtly telling you make sure you bring your mushies.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great day.
Well, let's have a great day, me and you here. And let's talk about some murder. What do you say?
All right.
Let's do it. Let's start out. I don't know why lately 1992 keeps coming up, but we keep ending up in 1992 lately. I don't know why.
The universe wants us to keep talking about Boys
to Men.
I
was just going to say, Jimmy, number one song in 1992. Who is it? It's just the next words out of my mouth so you could.
It's the end of the road, man. I'll never forget that.
So here we go. Let's talk about a murder. November 28th, 1992. This is a couple days after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. And we are in Mystic, Connecticut.
Matchbox 20.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's do it. Mystic, Connecticut, if you don't know, is a tourist town where you go and they have like water shit and people go there to eat pizza because they made a movie 40 years ago about a pizza place that had
Mystic Pizza.
Wasn't saying Mystic had great pizza. They just it's crazy. Anyway, just based around people who worked at a pizza place. Anyway, Michael Holmes is 35 years old. Okay. He's sleeping in his car in the parking area off the I-95 northbound at 3 a.m. in Mystic, Connecticut. So he was making his way up the seaboard and couldn't take it anymore, had to pull over.
A little too much pizza.
Which is what rest areas are for.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I wouldn't do that, but some people do. No. This is why I wouldn't do it. He's awakened by two men.
Oh.
Now, after a brief conversation, one of the men just opens fire on this guy. On Michael Holmes.
Oh, Jesus.
And yeah, absolutely. Shoots him 4 times. Nothing is taken. They just shoot him 4 times and flee.
So the point was the murder.
No robbery. Yeah, no robbery. So this Michael Holmes shot 4 times, starts the car and drives himself to exit 90 and used a phone there, because this is 92, he has no cell phone, found a pay phone and called 911.
Wow.
So the police respond to the scene, and he's admitted to the intensive care unit at Lawrence and Memorial Hospital after undergoing surgery for small caliber handgun wounds, basically a 22.
Okay.
He's been peppered with a 22, essentially.
Okay.
So
4 of them.
to find those in his body after where they go is a mess.
Well, the hole itself is small. You know
It's
what I mean?
small,
They miss that sometimes when people are shot with them.
So he ends up surviving, Michael Holmes. He does not die.
What?
They pull all the bullets out of him, and he's fine. He's in the hospital for like a week, and then they discharge him. So he's discharged from the hospital by December 2nd.
That's a strong man.
Michael Holmes, don't take any shit. Yeah, don't mess with Michael
Hats
Holmes.
off to you, sir.
Now, how did this all start?
Yeah, what the fuck?
This all started because a chiropractor wanted to spend Thanksgiving weekend in a warm place. That's how this started.
Oh.
Okay?
And is Michael Holmes the chiropractor?
Not at all.
No.
Michael Holmes has nothing to do with it. All right.
God damn it.
To find out how this happened, we got to go back in time about a week from then, not even, and go to Monday, November 23rd, 1992, which is, we started out on the 28th. We're at the 23rd. This is
ago.
Thanksgiving week 92. Francis Ramella, Ramella. He's the chiropractor who wanted to go to the Cayman Islands for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Causing this. Well, not his fault, obviously, but him, his wife, and his daughters, younger daughters, are all spending the week in the Grand Caymans on vacation. Beautiful. Not a bad life. Jesus, chiropractic is going well for him, huh?
Evidently.
But the whole family isn't going, just them.
No?
There is one family member they've left behind, and that's a 20-year-old son. Because you're 20, I'm not paying for you to go to the Caymans. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have cash?
Get a job and come. What are you taking a vacation from? Fuck off. No. So they're not taking him along. This is 20-year-old Trevor Ramella. I'm sorry. So Trevor, everybody describes Trevor as like a happy-go-lucky kind of cat, which his behavior over the next few days denotes happy-go-luckiness and a little bit of kind of
Screwball?
Not screwball, dangerous, recklessness, things like that. And also a little drop of just we'll talk about it before I don't want to describe it too much. So a kid, they live in a nice house. So he's got the house to himself on Jefferson Road for a whole week. His family's gone. So he decides to spend literally this entire week throwing a party. He's going to have a 5-day rager at his house.
Bender. Everybody's coming over.
Everyone's coming over.
Nobody has to leave.
You can leave at the end of the night, but there'll be a party again the next day. So it's one of those.
I gotta straighten up.
I guess so. I gotta fix the house up. Otherwise, it'll be.
I'm gonna have to glue some shit back together. I gotta get you guys out of here for a little bit.
It'll be a pile of splinters by the time my parents get back. Otherwise, So Monday night, November 23rd, 1992, is the first party, and it's the smallest of the group. I don't know if it's because it's on
Monday.
It's Monday, plus word has to spread that there's a 5-day party going on. So teenagers and a lot of kids from high school are there. This kid's 20, but he's got a lot of high school kids showing up there. Right. It's a lot of kind of that age group. So a lot of people show up. There's beer going. Everybody's drinking. Trevor is socializing. He's the master of the party.
Host,
he's the host. He's got to go around. What he does, though, is he keeps a .22 revolver on him the whole time he socializes, which is an odd way of socializing with a man this is a party.
Best
We're
way
all
to
together.
keep people in line in your folks' house.
That could be, and that's what I'm saying. Like he might have done this before and realizes that he needs some force behind him to be able to get people to do what he wants. So he's just carrying it around, around the party. So multiple people say they saw Trevor carrying the gun at multiple gatherings throughout the week, and nobody really thought much of it. It's just what he did. He carried a gun around.
That's Trev, man. He's just got he's a party pistol.
He's like an old film director with a bullhorn. They're like, he doesn't need it. We're 6 feet away, but it makes him feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Windy City Heat when Bobcat Goldthwait goes, I have to use it in here or else I'll forget to use it on the set. And
you mean
like,
the president of Hollywood?
Okay. The president. No, he was the director. Yeah, I love that. The president of Hollywood is
Who was the president of Hollywood?
I don't even remember who it was.
I swore it was Bobcat.
No, Bobcat was the director of the movie the whole time.
All right.
He was the one, the director. So nobody was really concerned. It's like, Trevor's got a gun. And, if you go through a whole night and he hasn't shot anybody, you figure, all right, he's just carrying it around.
You're golden. Yeah.
You're fine. So here are some guests that are at the party. Two of the guests, anyway, are 16-year-old Ryan Wright and 17-year-old Stephen Parkhurst. Parkhurst.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Now, Stephen Parkhurst knows Trevor. That's how this happened. Yeah. He's 3 years younger than him, but he's got older siblings named Jason and Jen. And Jen was in one of Trevor's classes. So they know each other, and they've all lived in the local area for a long time. Stephen has gone out and came back, but he's known Trevor since he was 6, essentially. Wow. And everybody knows his dad. He's the chiropractor in town. Yeah. It's 12,000 people, so it's not and even that, it was smaller back then. Mm-hmm. So he heard Trevor was having a party at his house, and Stephen didn't know if he was going to go because he hadn't seen Trevor in a long time.
Right.
It's like, I don't know if I can just show up at this dude's house. I haven't talked to him really. But
like Stifler going, what the fuck are you doing here? And slamming doors in people's faces.
Exactly. So, but he knew a ton of people that were going. He knew everybody that was going. It was like all of his friends. So he's like, well, I know if all my friends are going. Why can't I go? So he decides to do that. Now, a little bit about Stephen here is going to help. His parents divorced when he was young because his dad was pretty abusive, apparently. So apparently, allegedly, his dad beat his mother with a sandal one time really bad, which is a crazy way to beat somebody. That sounds like my grandmother attacking me for imitating her when I was a kid. She did that many a time.
It's usually an adult figure throwing the shoe at them, or maybe a couple of whacks, but you don't just beat your wife with that. That's crazy. Or
the 12-year-old Thai girl who said her mom beats her with a sandal if she doesn't do well in school. I was like, oh boy, at the restaurant. Yeah. So anyway, one night also, he held a knife to her throat.
Oh, that's aggressive.
That was it after that. Once you hold a knife to someone's throat, if they have any semblance, they're going to get out of there. So this is when Stephen was about 5. So his mother, they get a divorce, and then his mother marries a retired Marine.
All right.
So basically, the kids were like his workforce. This Marine.
Slaves?
He had a snack bar and restaurant that he owned, and he just made the kids all work there when they were 8, 9. For like long days, too. Like long, long days.
Free labor. Yeah.
And he was also apparently super flirtatious with all the women customers, and Stephen's mother didn't like that. They fought about it, and guess what? More divorce.
Sure.
That happens. Now, when Stephen was about 12, he went to California with his dad. His dad was out in California. His, sandal beating, knife holding dad.
There's some abuse in the house. Dad got wind of it. Bring him out in California. Give him some time to,
His dad's a house painter in Stockton, which sounds miserable 1 and 2 right there. Yeah. He, now, young Stephen also hung out with his father's brother, Rick. And basically, Uncle Rick here, he called where they lived East Side Okieville, which means it's white trash is what he's trying to say.
Inland California hillbillies.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not good.
No. And these are all the ex-O we talked about in another episode. The ex-Okies, this is where they came to because this is where the defense jobs were after the Depression and all that kind of shit. So these are basically, there's a lot of meth in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's that kind of place here. Uncle Rick here, which is interesting. Uncle Rick had a theory for young Stephen. He's 12. He needs to learn things, and Uncle Rick's going to teach him. See,
Uncle Rick's never good to
learn from. Never learn from Uncle Rick here.
Nope.
Now, Uncle Rick says you gotta know how to take an ass whooping if you ever want to give one. Which I mean,
that's decent advice.
But then you don't say I'm going to beat you up to teach you, which is.
I need you to learn how to eat a punch now.
A is fine. B is 10 miles down the road. You just fucking, How do you feel about that, Stephen? Sounds logical? Pow. Punches him right in the face.
Stick your chin out.
So then, according to Stephen, Uncle Rick and his friends, too, would all beat the living shit out of Stephen. And Stephen didn't know if, are they kidding with me? Is this like a hazing ritual? Are we, what's the story here? Because you're 12. You have no idea what the hell's going on.
And the sandal was softer.
Yeah, when adults that are supposed to be protecting you are beating you. Yeah. It's crazy. So at about 14, here. Stephen gets into Uncle Rick's speed, by the way.
All right.
They start doing that together, and Stephen ends up returning to Rhode Island, and he's arrested twice as a 14, 15-year-old.
Because he's got a healthy meth habit out there.
Yeah, for breaking into cars and stealing radios. This is back when that was still worth something.
Yeah.
His stepfather was mad at him, so he drove him to the airport, put his credit card down on the counter, and just said, ticket to California.
Whatever
that way.
It costs. Yeah.
Don't care. He said, there you go, and he said, fuck off, and left.
Sent him back.
Send him back. So Stephen moves in with not his dad, with Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good influence here.
Uncle Ricky knows what's up.
That's right. He went to high school. About a year later, his father, sick of him out there again, this kid keeps getting, nobody wants him, basically.
Shipping him back and forth cross country.
His dad is a house painter, so a little less lofty here. He just buys him a Greyhound ticket back.
What?
The next thing he's just going to say, you hold your thumb like this, see? And you stand on the side of the road, and that's how you get rides.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to tell
Uncle
him.
Rick and his friends are going to help you get more sympathy. Stick your chin out.
So Stephen arrived in Providence with $20 in his pocket, and he stayed with friends because his parents didn't want him there. Remember, his stepfather sent him away. So he, at one point, broke into his mother's house. This is what he would do. He knew how to break into the house, so he'd break into the house to take a shower and to get some food and to steal money from her purse.
Holy.
Which I don't know what you expect a kid who's 14, 15 to do. It's not like you can go get a job and
Can't get a job.
get your own apartment when you're 15.
Right.
So 1991, he ends up in Ocean Tides, which sounds lovely. It sounds like a resort.
Doesn't sound bad at all.
Sounds like I'd like to stay there next time we're in like a San Diego or something.
Full ocean tides.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no ocean nor tides.
It's near the ocean. It's in Rhode Island, but it is a residential home for delinquent youth is what it is. It's a group home.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah. They said, according to a monthly review by the Department of Children, Youth, and Families Juvenile Corrections Division, they said they called it after a long history of school, home, and community behavioral problems. Stephen was put in there.
Oh boy!
Now, a report cited that detentions at two different boys' homes, which he left without authorization, of course, and then was arrested on May 7th, 1991 for car theft, and then again 2 weeks later for another car theft. Stephen's a mess. He ran away from another youth facility, then was picked up by police again.
So he's a menace and he doesn't learn his lesson.
He doesn't learn his lesson, no, clearly not. And what's he afraid of? He's used to getting the shit beaten out of him by adults. He's not really afraid of much at this
You're
point.
not going to punch me nor hit me with a shoe. You're going to put me in another room with free food and shit.
That's fine. So he at Ocean Tides attributed his problems to his troubled relationship with his mother and stepfather. The staff described him as mildly anxious, but honest about describing his community difficulty. So he was honest about his crimes. The report said the primary focus would appear to be an examination of interfamilial relationships. So they think his main problem is he's got shitty home
no
life.
nurturing.
Nobody cares about him, basically, he feels like. So August 1991, he gets out of Ocean Tides and returns home to live with his mother, probably because the state mandated it.
Yeah.
State probably said, you have to take him in. You're his mother. You can't just, he's not a,
He's a kid.
He's a kid. So by the end of October, his mother was tired of his bullshit and persuaded the state to place him in another group home in Providence.
Wow.
His mother said, please take my son away from me. He was allowed to keep attending North Smithfield High School. They said, though, he kept disappearing from the group home. He kept taking off. And on November 13th, 1992, this is just now, he left the group home for good, took off, and went and stayed at his sister Jen's apartment.
Took all his shit and moved out to his sister's house.
That's it, his duffel bag, and he left. Now, Stephen begins drinking all day, every day. That's all he's doing, whether he's hanging out with people or not. If he's alone, he's drinking.
How old is he?
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just drinking.
All day, huh?
So Jen threw him out of her apartment because she caught him having sex in there with somebody. She came home and her drunken little brother is porking a 10th grader on her love seat. And she's like, that's it. Enough. The fuck out of my house. I will not.
Drunken kid brother is banging in her home.
Not having my kid brother's jizz stains on my fucking cushions. It isn't happening.
Get out.
She said, you're making my life hard. You can't keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, she let him back in. He had nowhere to go.
Okay.
So she feels bad. There's a thing with older, we were just talking about this last night. Sarah and I were talking about this. Yeah. Something about older sisters and younger brothers. They take care of younger brothers. Younger brother could be the biggest fuck up in the world. Their older sister will absolutely stick up for them no matter what. It's weird. It's like a motherly thing.
Healthy environment, yeah?
In any environment, honestly, because these two, they didn't grow up in a healthy environment. Yeah. You know? Well, yeah, maybe different for you, but among the most part, it's kind of like the...
that would have been great.
Yeah, but you also, there was other issues there too, I think.
Oh, yeah. Great point.
So he's known as like kind of, the kids are kind of like, ooh, he's a badass. Like that's his rep. Yeah. He's been to jail. Mm-hmm. You know, he was in group home. He was in California, like getting in trouble. Yeah. Like, so in a small town, like that's, oh, you're the big badass. Just because you've lived outside that small town, they're like, what has he seen? Mm-hmm. He's been other places. Do tell.
Yeah, he went to California, and instead of having a great time, he went to jail.
Yeah, so like he must be a badass.
He's cool.
So anyway, this is how he ends up at the party from all this, because he knew Jen. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, November 24th, 25th, 1992, more parties. Tuesday night, more people show up than Monday. So that's how you know your party's good. More people came the next day. They drink.
Trevor's just letting all these bad people in his house.
This is the place to be. Like, this is the party spot. And apparently, Trevor got mad at Stephen for, quote unquote, taking unfair advantage of an inebriated 16-year-old girl. Apparently, Stephen was, fingering a sophomore,
some liberties.
And they didn't like that. And this Trevor guy didn't like that. So that's a nice thing. Trevor sticking up for some girl who's too drunk to defend herself. Great.
Or to approve or disapprove.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So, that's not cool. So, and this is 92. This is in the days when it was like, is she drunk enough to try to fuck her yet? Like, that's how it was back then.
Yeah, Brass Monkey was on the radio.
That's what I mean. Yes, exactly. And people were... fucking into it.
Getting jiggy with it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what goes on. Trevor is angry. He's pissed. Mm-hmm. And he decides to kick Stephen out from the party. But he does it at gunpoint, which probably wasn't necessary. Probably could have just asked him to leave first. But
he came pretty fucking cool.
He came gun drawn. Yeah. Not cool at all.
No, but I mean, as a
teenager,
bravado and
this
protecting
is all
a
very
girl.
Teenage bravado shit. As an adult, you're like, don't point guns at people.
Yeah, don't do that. So beat the living shit out of him. I don't know.
Everyone at the party saw it. Several people at the party tried to kind of calm everything down, telling Trevor, put the gun down. It's all good. Don't fucking point your gun in people's faces. That freaks people out. The chicks are freaking out, man. You can't do that.
Oh, nobody's getting laid now.
You've ruined the whole party at that point. Yeah. Not cool.
Sucks.
So, and they're telling Stephen it's not a big deal. Just let it blow. Telling both sides, let it blow over. It's fine. Just, everybody's had a bunch of drinks and tensions are high, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's what goes on. So Stephen leaves. He leaves with Ryan Wright, Rebecca Moran, Wendy Bouvier, Marge, Patty, and Selma's sister, apparently. They all get into Rebecca's car with Stephen driving for some reason. I'm not sure.
All right.
So they drop Wendy off first here, old Bouvier, and then he parks near in a lot to let Rebecca sober up before she goes home. Remember that as a teenager?
Yeah.
Whew, I am way too fucked up to walk into my house right now. We got to sit here for a minute. Hold on. So
I'm going to get sober and I'm going to walk in. She's still going to smell it. There's no fucking way I'm getting away with that.
At least if I'm not like falling into the refrigerator, they might keep their distance from me or something.
I might be able to get past her before she smells it and take a shower and brush my teeth and get in bed.
Totally. So now Rebecca's in the back seat of her own car, by the way, which is always strange to me. And the two boys are up front and she hears Stephen and Ryan Wright, talking in the front seat. She heard Stephen say that he was pissed off at Trevor for pointing a gun at him, which...
As you would be,
understandable here. And he said that he wants to get him back. I'm going to get him back for doing that. So according to Rebecca, they're just getting increasingly agitated. They talk about, let's go back and kick his fucking ass. And they're like, we should kick his ass. And then they're talking about, we'll kick his ass and then we'll just get out of Rhode Island. We'll just take off.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. Now, By the end of this conversation, Ryan Wright is like, yeah, dude, you should totally do. You should kick his ass and you should get the fuck out of here. Like, he's totally
Drop me
encouraging
off at home and you go ahead.
Yeah, you do that. No, he said, I'll go with you, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's going along.
So that's what's going on. This girl in the back seat's like, I'm sure, hurting from her eyes rolling so hard of, Jesus, shut up. Just let me sober up. So Thursday, November 26th, 1992 is Thanksgiving night. So everyone comes full of turkey and full bellies and big parties. Now, Rebecca Moran, the one who was in the car in the back seat, and Sarah Dexter, another young lady, meet Stephen Parkhurst at the house.
Okay.
Rebecca says, are you serious about leaving Rhode Island? And Stephen was like, I was just drunk. I was just talking shit. I was drunk right out of my mouth the other night, he said, basically.
I was drunk talking, driving your car. That's
how it works. You know how it goes. Thanks for letting me drive your car, shitface, by the way. So later that evening, they all leave Trevor's and they all go to Sarah's house.
Okay.
That's when Sarah Dexter tells Stephen Parkhurst something that pisses him off big time, okay? She said earlier that evening, Trevor demanded that I give him a blowjob. And we don't know what happened, if she did it or not, but we know that Trevor demanded a blowjob. He's 20, demanding a blowjob from a 16-year-old, which is
a bit much.
A criminal act at that point.
For sure.
I mean, we don't know if he knows how old she is or whatever, but it doesn't matter. If a cop showed up while you're getting a blowjob from a 16-year-old, you're going in handcuffs. That's all I'm saying. If a guy, hey guys, how you doing? You're like, huh? You're in trouble at that point. So I was just helping her with her homework.
Yeah.
Her biology homework.
She won't stop sucking my dick.
It's crazy.
I'm
Can't do
to
that.
Get work done.
No good. Both morally and legally not okay.
Yeah.
Not small town murder approved behavior. We'll say that.
At all.
So now Stephen's response is, quote, don't worry, I'm going to kill him on the last night of this party.
Oh.
That's what he tells us, Sarah Dexter. Like, I got your back. I'm going to kill him tomorrow night, so don't sweat it, right? So Sarah figured he was just talking shit. Like, I mean, you have no idea the crazy shit teenage boys say. We say insane shit when we're teenagers.
And in our head, when we say, I'm going to kill that guy, it means
I'm going to punch him.
He's going to live.
Yes. You're not actually going to murder him.
He's probably going to be fine. He might be sore for a little while. I might be sore for a while. I'm not even sure yet, but I'm going to start it. That's what I do know.
And for the most part, it would get broken up at a party. It wouldn't matter anyway. So we don't know. But in Stephen's mind now, he's pissed off. He's like, this guy pulls a gun on my face, kicks me out, pressuring fucking 16-year-old girls. He's a bad guy, he's thinking, this Trevor.
Yeah.
Now, that's in Stephen's mind. Friday, November 27th, 1992, final night of the party, okay?
Yeah.
Closing it up. Stephen arrives back at Trevor's house with several other people.
Yeah.
Trevor invites Stephen on in, even though he knows he ejected him at gunpoint 2 nights earlier.
Yeah.
Still lets him in for the second night in a row. Now, by 9:30 p.m., there's about 40 people at this party, which is a big party for a house party.
Sure.
And it's all indoors. It's cold out, so it's an indoor party. Yeah. So it's a big deal. Everyone's drinking. It's all the kids. Trevor thinks that things are kind of getting out of hand. There's more people here than there should be. Yeah. So he decides to pull out his gun and start ordering people to leave. You got to go.
Really?
You got to go. He's pointing his gun. And this includes Stephen and Ryan. So you guys got to get the fuck out. So probably everybody but his inner circle kind of a deal.
Right.
His friend, Trevor's friend, Heath, tells him, please, dude, put the gun away, man. What the fuck are you doing? You can't be aiming.
You don't need this.
Especially you've been drinking all night. Like, you're going to shoot somebody. Trevor opens the cylinder and shows him it's loaded, but the next chamber's empty. Said, so if I squeeze one by accident, I'm not going to shoot anybody. That's his.
So what?
That's his, like, it's fine, okay?
That's just safety?
That's it. So he said that, now there's another guy named Charles Meyer there. He says that 4 chambers were empty, not just one.
Okay.
And he says that Trevor said that was for safety reasons. So this Meyer guy, at his request, Trevor finally puts the gun away, and not in his waistband. He says, dude, just get it out of here.
In a different room.
He goes upstairs in his bedroom and puts it in his bedroom bureau, leaves it there. Okay. Now, Stephen and Ryan Wright leave. They get a ride from Jay O'Hara and Shar Chauvin to an Almax parking lot. I guess it's a gas station. I'm not sure. Whatever, some kind of store. where they meet up with a bunch of other friends and they talk about going to a different party in Burrillville. They're like, let's go to that other party.
Yeah.
During the ride, Shar Chauvin overhears Stephen and Ryan talking about how much they hate Trevor. That fucking Trevor. That son of a bitch. Stephen says that Trevor humiliated him in front of his friends. Fucking embarrassed me, and he said I should have fucking done something. I don't know what you're going to do when a guy's got a gun in your face. There's really, your options are pretty limited at that point. So Jay O'Hara, the driver, says he doesn't remember Parkhurst saying something like that, by the way. So some people say they heard it, that Shar Chauvin said he heard it.
Yeah.
Jay O'Hara says he doesn't remember Stephen saying exactly that.
Sure.
These are two people in an enclosed car, and they can't agree on what one guy said.
What just happened?
This is why witnesses suck, basically.
This just happened. We were on our way from the event. Yeah.
So they go to the Burrillville party, and they stay for about 20 minutes. Then Stephen says, we should go back to Trevor's.
This place is dead.
Place is dead. So they go back to Jefferson Road. Now, these other two he's talking about, I hate this guy and all that.
Yeah.
Come up with an alternate plan, but whatever. So as they approach the address here, they see two police cruisers parked out front. Because it's a teenage party. Yeah, someone called the cops.
And there was just gunplay.
Yeah. So they, instead of just driving off, and the reasons for this are nebulous at this point. We don't know why, but instead of driving off, they pull into the next door neighbor's driveway. Stephen and Ryan jump out of the car and run into the woods, which is the domain of the teenager. That's an East Coast teenager. The woods are mine. No one could catch me here. Like it's fucking crazy. It's like being on home base if you're in the woods. So now they're drunk and they have alcohol on them. So we don't know if they're doing that to get away from the cops or why they're doing that, but it might become a little clearer later here. So everyone's drunk. The police eventually leave.
Okay.
When they see the police leave, they emerge from the woods.
Yeah.
And they go up to the door. Trevor says, come on in, which I think party's over at this point, right?
Yeah.
Cops just left.
People out.
Including you.
Cops,
I kicked you out at gunpoint 2 hours ago.
And the cops have just been here. So and then you came back. So, no.
Party's over.
Shut the porch light off. Good night.
So Brian Heroux, a guy at the party, said that Trevor asked Brian to give Stephen and Ryan Wright a ride home to Woonsocket. So they said, Trevor asked his friend, will you take these two fucking home, please? Yeah. They don't have a ride. They said, nah, I don't feel like taking them home. That's what Brian said.
Thank you, Brian.
So then another guy at the party said that Trevor was like, you're not staying here. You can't stay here. You got to go home.
Yeah.
Eventually, because no one will drive them home and they live too far to walk, Trevor says, all right, fine. Fucking you can stay over, I guess. You can just stay here.
Isn't their car across the street? What are they doing?
No, they got dropped off by that Jay guy.
Oh, got it.
Got it. Yeah.
So
they say, okay, fine. And it's Stephen kind of manipulates him a little bit. He said, well, I would be able to drive, except I wrecked my car earlier in the week after leaving your party that you kicked me out of. Remember that? I was drunk and I shouldn't have been driving, but you made me leave, so I went out and wrecked my car. So now what am I supposed to do?
And that's your fault.
And that's your fault, which,
Thanks
I mean, he
so much.
did pull a gun on him and force him to leave.
Yeah.
So if that was true, which it wasn't,
right,
Trevor would have felt bad. So Trevor was like, shit, all right, fine. You can stay the night. And he said, I'll drive you home in the morning. That's
all right.
So the Brian guy leaves, and there's 6 people at the house at this point. It's Trevor, Charles Meyer, William Bergeron, Allie Gerard, who is Trevor's girlfriend, and then Stephen and Ryan. Stephen and Ryan go upstairs, like they're going to go to sleep in a room. Sure. And Trevor, Charles, William, and Allie go to the basement to play pool. This chiropractor's doing great. Finished basements, pool tables, Grand Cayman Thanksgiving vacations.
Finished basement of a party room. This is awesome.
Man. So they're upstairs, Stephen and Ryan watching TV. Midnight comes around. Wow. Charles Meyer's in the basement with Trevor, and they hear noises upstairs. It sounds like running around, like if you're in an apartment and someone's above you doing shit. So they go upstairs to see what the hell's going on. The TV is off, and Stephen and Ryan aren't there anymore. Okay. So Trevor races to his bedroom. Once he gets in his bedroom, he shouts out, they got my guns. They got my guns.
Plural.
Guns, they got my guns.
Boy.
So Meyer, he runs into the bedroom and finds out from Trevor that the .22 caliber revolver that he's been wielding all week is gone from the bureau, and also a black powder hunting rifle. So like an old school like Civil War rifle, basically.
Like with the
black powder, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There's also the contents of an ammunition bag scattered all over the floor. So someone's taken ammo too.
You got to have the powder on the muzzle loader.
You got to have that. You know, do you have the big? Get the plunger.
Do you have the powder horn that goes around my neck?
Get that. You got to rip it and put the ball in.
Rip it and dip it and pound it and shoot it.
So Trevor runs from the room toward the front door with Meyer chasing after him. Now Meyer, they get to the front door, and Meyer looks out the window when they get to the front door. And he sees Trevor is already lying face down in a pool of blood on the front walkway.
Shit.
Meyer followed him, and he was 2 seconds ahead of him, and this is what happened, apparently.
Holy.
So to Trevor's right side is Ryan Wright, okay, on the right side of Trevor, who's holding the black powder rifle by the barrel. He's got it, you know, like a club, basically.
Right.
So Meyer ducks behind the front door and locks it because he's like, oh, shit, there's some shit going on out there. He tells Bergeron and Ali Gerard that Trevor is down out there, which is a weird way to put it. He sprints.
He's already a police officer in the military or something.
He's down. He sprints to Trevor's bedroom, grabs a shotgun from under the bed, and loads it up in case people are coming back. As the three of the people left in the house decide what to do next, they hear the sound of glass breaking. They're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, they're coming in.
Someone's breaking in through the front door window.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So they hear voices from the basement at that point. Somebody came in and went looking for him in the basement.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, fuck. So they think that the invaders are in the basement, so they run out the back door, the three upstairs. Okay.
Smart move.
Now, minutes later, they're outside hiding. Bergeron and Gerard hear a car peeling out from the driveway. Mm-hmm. Whose car is that? These two idiots don't have a car. So Meyer runs to the neighbor's house and begs them to call 911. When he comes back, he sees that the family Toyota Celica is gone.
Nice car. Yeah.
So there's the Ramella family's Toyota Celica has been taken.
Sports car, yeah.
Police arrive and EMTs arrive, and the house is well lit by floodlights and all that.
Yeah.
Trevor's face down in a pool of blood. They find a small bullet hole in the back of Trevor's head behind the left ear, like a mob hit.
Oh, God.
When they turn the body over, it gets worse than that. Yeah. Trevor had, according to the medical examiner, quote, abrasions over his left eye and forehead, deep lacerations under his right eye caused by blunt trauma. Both lips were split through the middle and macerated.
The teeth came through.
Yes. 4 more lacerations below the bottom lip. His teeth were completely smashed and, quote, floating free in his mouth.
Wow.
And the medical examiner described his lower jaw as pulverized.
That's not one smack, right? That's a lot.
It gets worse. Cheekbones that covered his sinuses were also described as pulverized. And internal hemorrhaging on the right side of his neck had taken place, and there was bruising in his chest, too. 2 of his teeth and a piece of facial skin were found on the sidewalk. A third tooth was found under his left arm. They beat his face.
They beat the living hell out of him
into a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Shot him?
This is crazy. So they said that these injuries could not have been caused by a fall to the ground unless it was out of a fucking jetliner.
Helicopter.
Yeah, unless it was 35,000 feet.
Right.
They said that Trevor received at least 4 and possibly 6 blows to the head with a blunt instrument consistent with the butt of a rifle, a black powder rifle, as a matter of fact. Yeah. The cause of death, though, was the bullet wound shot from a distance of 2 or more feet, so pretty goddamn close. Trevor's wallet was laying on the lawn 7 feet from his body with blood all over it and emptied of all money.
So he's been robbed,
He's been robbed. Pieces of the rifle's stock were found near the body as well.
It beat him
a black broke. This is a rifle. It's 150 years old, and they beat it. They beat him till it exploded.
This was a rifle built by a man with a fire.
This thing might have lasted through Fredericksburg and Shiloh, but not the fucking party on Jefferson Road. Couldn't make it through that.
Unbelievable.
So Yeah, it had been broken apart by the force of the blows. So when questioned, Charles Meyer remembers Stephen's first name and the name Tara Lanktot, who's a friend of Stephen's who was at the party, but he doesn't know Stephen's last name. Within hours, though, they get Tara Lanktot at the police station identifying Parkhurst from photo lineups.
Yeah.
So they have him. Shortly after, Meyer, Gerard, and Bergeron all positively identified Stephen from a photo array, and Meyer specifically identifies him as the man standing over Trevor's body holding the revolver, which is pretty damning evidence there.
Yeah.
So what does Stephen and Ryan do? Everyone knows what happened. They did it in front of everybody. They went back in to clean up the mess, but they didn't kill the rest of the crew, so who's there? They took off. They flee.
In the Celica.
Flee in the 1986 Toyota Celica.
Oh, it's an 86. That's not much of
not a great one. No, those are the smaller kind of hatchback.
A little later, it was pretty
They were fine.
Cool.
Yeah, the 90s ones. My mom had one of those. It was okay. Yeah. So their plan was to get to California in a stolen
From Rhode
Celica.
Island?
Couldn't be any farther away. So,
I mean, it's only one tank of gas in that thing.
Yeah. And they have the only money they have is what they took from Trevor's wallet.
You're not getting there, man.
No. So 2 hours later, they're in Mystic, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Firing a bunch of shots at poor Michael Holmes in his car. Mm-hmm. See, that's why a chiropractor caused this whole thing, unfortunately. So that's while that happened. So they leave Michael bleeding to death as he drives off to get an ambulance and help. Survives. Yeah. A little while after that, they rob a hotel clerk in Branford, Connecticut.
Yeah, because they didn't even rob the guy at the rest area.
No. I guess with the shots, they probably were like, oh, that's too loud. People are coming, and they probably took
woke
off.
People up. Yeah.
So they rob a hotel clerk in Branford, Connecticut, but later on, too, the victim of the robbery can't positively identify who did it. They were too scared here. Yeah. About 5 a.m., they're in Darien, Connecticut.
Yeah.
They walk into a Howard Johnson hotel.
Lots of money on hand there.
Clearly cash bursting from the seams at 5 a.m.
$7 a night place, yeah.
And at 5 a.m. too. Like they haven't even had a chance to build cash up from the day yet. Like it's a bad time to rob. So Stephen puts the .22 caliber, still has the murder weapon on him. Mm-hmm. He puts it to the head of a desk clerk and demands all the money.
Oh, Jesus.
The guy gives him the money. Later on, he'll positively identify Parkhurst and Wright. Obviously.
Well done, sir.
Then they go to Ohio. So they're cruising through. They get through Pennsylvania.
That's so far.
All the way to Ohio. Yes.
That's like 13 hours.
It's a long way. And they try to rob a motel in Ohio as well. The witnesses describe two young white males driving a gray foreign car with New York license plates, L6H281. Those are not the original license plates they had in Rhode Island. They switched to plates. So now they have a stolen car with stolen plates.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Going great so far. Mm-hmm. And anytime a cop runs the plates, they're going to see they don't belong to that car. So even if they aren't reported stolen yet, doesn't matter. You're still getting pulled over. Mm-hmm. You're better off hoping that the car doesn't get reported stolen for a minute, I think, at that point.
Yeah. As long as everything matches, if it's not reported stolen, any story will do. I'm borrowing it from a friend.
Whatever.
Back home. Whatever.
November 30th, 1992.
Yeah.
Police stop. This is in Indiana now. Okay.
They have moved.
Through Ohio into Indiana. Police stop a gray foreign car, a Celica with New York license plates L6H281. Here are Stephen and Ryan in the car. So they had stopped to ask for directions, by the way, which is hilarious. They stopped to ask.
They asked a cop?
No, they asked somebody else
got it.
for directions, and the cop happened to pull up while they were doing that and ran the plates and saw what was going on here. So they look under the seat and they find a .22 caliber revolver. Still has it. No. They still have it. So they took him to a juvenile detention center in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Mm-hmm. Now, an employee at the detention center, Gary Grant, not the ex-NBA player, said later that he overheard both Stephen and Ryan bragging to everybody else in the recreation room about what they'd done, which I assume you do to try not to get beat up in there. You don't know anybody. You're new.
Right. Don't fuck with me. We murder people.
Yep. According to Grant, Ryan Wright told the other kids that Stephen had killed a boy in Rhode Island and that they were just on their way to California. They said the reason they got caught was because Stephen stopped and asked for directions. Now we're all fucked.
The interstate system is so easy to navigate.
It's so easy.
You are nowhere near California.
That
Just
way.
keep going.
See the way the sun isn't rising? Go that way. Toward that direction.
Just chase that sunset, man.
Eventually you can figure out north and south and whatever, but west is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So they go to trial here. Well, Stephen goes to trial. Ryan's trial is going to be held for a minute here.
Okay.
The prosecution says they have the Connecticut robbery evidence. Is basically the defense is that Stephen was too drunk to have done any of this.
Okay.
He was too drunk to kill him and then get in a car and drive all the way here and drive all the way. Just too shit-faced. No one's ever gotten anywhere drunk driving, Jimmy. You know what I mean? Never happened in the history of this country. Mm-hmm. So the Connecticut robbery evidence is admitted to rebut the defense's claim that he was too drunk to form intent. Because they were like, he had plenty of intent when he was shooting someone in Mystic and then trying to rob a guy at a motel. The prosecution says if he was too drunk to know what he was doing at midnight when he killed Trevor, how was he sober enough to rob a Howard Johnson at gunpoint 4 hours later? How was he sober enough to drive from Rhode Island to Indiana? If he's sober enough to kill, he's sober enough to drive, he's fine.
Also, he's sober enough to recognize we're on E, motherfucker. We got to get out of here. We need money.
That. So Stephen has to take the stand. He has no choice here. He has to explain this. He said he had consumed about 12 beers on that evening of the shooting.
Wow.
Which is a 12-pack's quite a bit for a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Even a ex-crank addict, whatever, 17-year-old, still tough.
Even a seasoned, primed one, that's a lot of beer.
So he and Ryan Wright were watching television. Wright went to the bathroom, he said, and came back with the revolver. That's his story. I was just watching TV. Ryan got up at the party, came back with a gun. Stephen says he took the gun from Ryan. Ryan left again and then returned with a rifle. Okay. So Stephen said he was feeling a little bit nauseous and, like you've had 12 beers.
Right.
And he said he went outside with some fresh air. That's all, just to get that fresh air. He said he started playing with the revolver, which is a good move when you're so drunk that you need fresh air so you don't throw up. He said he was
spinning it in the shit.
That's what he was doing. He was pulling the hammer back, spinning the cylinder. He fired 2 shots in the air, he said. In the middle of the night? What are you doing?
Oh, my God.
When Trevor came running out of the house, he said the gun, quote, went off. He said it just went off and Trevor fell. He said, I never looked at the body and never saw any blood. That's his story. Now,
so I shot him once he fell, and his thud must have just exploded his face.
Well, that's Ryan was doing that stuff that he said. But that's the thing, too. How did he get shot in the back of the head if he came out ran past them and the gun went off? I don't understand how that would work. Huh. So if Trevor fell toward Parkhurst, as he claims, why was the body found in a position suggesting it fell toward the house? And if he never went through Trevor's pockets, how did his wallet get out? How did he get robbed? How did he get the Celica keys? Any of that stuff. So he admitted that when he went back in the house after Ryan Wright broke the front window with the rifle, he did not call for help. He admits that. He said he didn't dial 911. He said he kept his gun in his hand as he searched the house. He denied seeing Ryan Wright beat Trevor with the rifle, despite the fact that the witness saw him literally standing over Trevor after he had clearly been beaten for the last 30 seconds. Yeah. So that's ridiculous. Then he said that he, quote, didn't know anything about guns, didn't know how to open one, and, quote, did not associate with them.
Yeah.
So, I might have shot him by accident. He said that for all he knew, the murder weapon could have been a BB gun or a pellet gun. He said, I didn't even know what it was. Meanwhile, it's a revolver. You can see fucking bullets in the cylinder.
Boy, do pellet guns and 22s sound different when they fire.
A little bit different. Feel different, too.
Yeah, it's a slightly higher pitched noise.
It's something. Yeah. So about 4 hours later, he used the same weapon to rob the hotel clerk. He seemed to know a lot about guns at that point.
Right.
So the verdict comes in here. The counts are he's going to be found guilty. Obviously, there's tons of witnesses here.
Yeah.
For first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, breaking and entering, larceny of a firearm, carrying a stolen firearm while committing a crime of violence.
Uh-oh.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Not shit you want to be found guilty
The
of.
larceny of the firearm while using it in the crime is so bad.
It's so bad, and it stacks things. So the judge sentences him to, you, young man, may fuck off, life in prison for the murder, plus 10 years each for conspiracy to murder, breaking and entering, theft of a motor vehicle, possession of a stolen firearm, all to be served consecutively, plus
50.
another consecutive 5-year sentence for theft of the firearm. So life plus 45 years consecutive.
That's not 55? That's 45?
45. Four 10s and a 5.
Okay, and a 5. Got it.
Plus life, all consecutive.
There's no way to outlive that.
17, you're going to die in prison. Period. So Ryan Wright sees this and just pleads guilty.
Yeah. Good move, Ryan. Yeah.
Fuck that. He admits to hitting Trevor with the rifle and everything, too. He admits to all that. So they say, you, sophomore child, may fuck off also. 60 years in Rhode Island, and then he gets another 7 in Connecticut.
For the...
that, and that's the other thing too. Stephen also has a Connecticut sentence tacked on to that, which I mean, when we pull out his corpse, we can bring it to Connecticut. And we can stick that in a room for a while.
Holy shit!
So 1998, Stephen appeals on multiple issues. All right. First is the accident instruction. His defense says that the shooting was an accident, and he argues that the trial judge should have specifically told the jury that the state had to disprove accident beyond a reasonable doubt, rather than leaving the jury with the impression that he had to prove the shooting was an accident. So apparently there's a Rhode Island case called State versus Baker from 1980 where the Supreme Court threw out a conviction because the jury instructions shifted the burden of proof on self-defense to the defendant rather than the prosecution.
Okay.
So Stephen's saying it's the same thing. The second one is the murder instructions. Trial judge told the jury that premeditation and deliberation are not elements of murder in the second degree, but then said the distinction between first and second degree murder is the length of time of premeditation. So they said that's a confusing instruction, which it is. The Supreme Court would later call the language unfortunate. Also, too, the court notes that the jury asked twice during deliberations for the instructions to be re-explained to them. They didn't get it either, which makes sense. Third one, they said that Parkhurst argues that the jury should have been given the option of involuntary manslaughter, an unintentional killing without malice.
Okay.
And they said, no, involuntary manslaughter is when you kill someone while committing an unlawful act not accounting to a felony while being criminally negligent. So, dumb shit, basically. If you were doing something stupid that wasn't like a felonious act. No, that would be a felonious act, I think.
Is it?
Shit like that. Because you have a gun. You're in possession of a stolen firearm at that point.
Oh, right. Because it's not yours. But if you're just spinning a gun and it goes off, that would not be a felonious act, right?
Yeah, no, that would probably be considered some sort of manslaughter or accidental shit, which would be involuntary manslaughter or negligent homicide or whatever, depends on the state.
You're still getting sued. Anyway.
You're getting sued. Fourth, the Connecticut robbery evidence. The prosecution brought in the evidence of the Howard Johnson robbery in Darien, committed 4 hours after the murder, to rebut the intoxication argument. The defense says you can't bring in evidence of other crimes just to show the defendant's a bad person. The court said it wasn't about that. It was about backing up. It was about disproving your statement, essentially. So fifth was the flight instructions. The jury was told they could consider Parkhurst's flight from the scene as evidence of consciousness of guilt. Parkhurst argues that this went too far. And finally, the wallet and the cash. The police testified that when Parkhurst was arrested in Indiana, he had $347 in cash in a wallet on him. So they did pretty well in these robberies. The defense argued that this implied he robbed Trevor. And they don't know if anything was taken from the wallet. That's not a fact, essentially. We didn't know how much money he had. The trial judge noted the amount wasn't excessive for someone traveling out of state, and given the jury had already heard about teeth found on the sidewalk and a bullet hole behind the ear, the wallet testimony wasn't likely to inflame anyone even more. The beating to death, the beating in the face and the shooting probably would do more.
That's pretty bad.
Convictions affirmed, everything's rejected. He goes to prison.
Yeah.
Shit changes. 2005, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case called Roper versus Simmons, bans the death penalty for juveniles, ruling that children are different and for purposes of criminal punishment. Their immaturity diminishes culpability. They are more vulnerable to outside pressures. The capacity for change is greater. Yeah, you could be a 16-year-old fuck up and turn out to be the Pope or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? 16, I know people that were nightmares when they were 16. Now they're married with 3 kids. They go to work every day. They're completely fine. Everything's fine.
I'm much better than I was when I was 16.
Me too. I was a fucking nightmare.
A long shot.
Absolutely. And and also when you're 16 and someone says 50 years, you go, I'll be dead by then. That's crazy. That doesn't even exist, 50 years. So 2008, Stephen appeals again. Parkhurst he acknowledges that in his later testimony, he said, I was sentenced under the teenage super predator beliefs of the early 1990s to all maximums and all consecutive. When he is sentenced, you have to understand this was the time where the enemy number one in America was teenagers. That was it.
Yeah.
We were public fucking enemy number one when they were going.
Every
you got to be hard
show,
on them.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Every talk show had one of our idols on it, and they were belittling them about how they are recruiting young people and poisoning our minds.
That's all it was. And it was like, he's got a dime bag of weed, needs to go to prison. Yeah, that'll teach him. Like they were out of their fucking minds in the 90s.
But they were right. Marilyn Manson was a terrible person.
He was a terrible person. But not for what he did with the teenagers. Much other shit. So he said that the sentencing judge said he was not tasked with considering all that I would work toward while incarcerated. That's what Stephen says. He only had the senseless death of a 20-year-old young man before him. So in 2008, the life sentence plus 45 years was reduced to life with the possibility of parole, because he had no parole before, plus 20 years. So still a long time. 2010, Graham versus Florida case. The Supreme Court bans life without parole for juvenile non-homicide offenders.
Yep, I remember that kid.
And juveniles must have a meaningful opportunity to obtain a release, is also what the court says. 2012, Miller versus Alabama. The court strikes down mandatory life without parole for juvenile homicide offenders. 29 states see their sentencing statutes invalidated because of this case.
Wow.
The court says a sentencer must consider the hallmark features of youth: immaturity, family environment, peer pressure, inability to navigate the legal system, and capacity for change. You can't say a kid is a completed, out of the kiln project. He's still wet clay, is what they're saying. Once they're an adult, then they're out of the kiln. Whatever they do is they're responsible for. When they're teenagers, there's a lot of other factors you have to consider that are making this.
Environment, lifestyle, all kinds of shit.
Yeah. December 2012, Ryan Wright is paroled.
Really?
He's paroled and sent to a halfway house until 2017.
A 40-year-old guy?
About, in that ballpark. 2014, Stephen tries to get out. He goes before the Rhode Island Parole Board and is denied. They cite the severity of the crime, the violence, and use of a weapon. They tell him he can come back in 2023, 9 years.
Holy shit.
Which is rough.
See you in nearly a decade.
2016, Montgomery versus Louisiana, another court case. The last one, the Miller one, is from 2012, is made retroactive. Every juvenile offender serving mandatory life without parole in America now has the right to a new sentencing hearing or a meaningful opportunity for release.
And this is why there's a TV show that covers a bunch of these, because it's determined that that's unconstitutional.
Tons of them happened. So 2017, Stephen files a lawsuit arguing that the Rhode Island's parole laws violate the Supreme Court's precedents on juvenile sentencing. 2018, the Rhode Island Parole Board revises its guidelines. For the first time, the board will consider factors specific to juvenile defenders: diminished culpability due to immaturity, rehabilitation, and personal growth in prison. 2019, Stephen goes up for parole again because the laws changed everything.
2019.
He's had a clean disciplinary record for 26 years.
Wow.
He earned an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree. He's pursuing an MBA through Adams State University. He trained 14 service dogs, including one for a Boston Marathon bombing survivor.
Nice.
He goes around and speaks to high schools about crime prevention. He's a Buddhist now.
Okay.
And he completed programs in anger management and victims advocacy as well.
Isn't it crazy how when you nurture a person, and give them a plan, they can follow it?
He's been following this even before there was hope, though.
Okay, yeah, but I mean,
he had no hope.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I mean. He didn't even have hope. He just had a plan to follow, and he did it.
And this isn't even a nurturing environment. This is prison.
Right.
This is you have to get your ass to do this.
Yeah.
Which is so hard in that environment.
Perhaps if his parents gave a shit, maybe he would have been a better kid.
Maybe if Uncle Rick didn't say, "Here, take a punch in the nose and then cure it with some crank afterwards."
Yeah,
maybe that wouldn't help.
Take a rip off this glass dick.
Yeah. So the Attorney General's office opposed his parole, saying that describing his crime as extraordinarily calculating, deliberate, and premeditated. It was also opposed by the Ramella family as well. The parole board votes unanimously to release Stephen.
Wow.
But he's then transferred to Connecticut to serve an additional 9 years for the armed robberies committed during the spree. So he's going to do about 4 years there. So ultimately, he'll do about 30 years in prison for this. 2021, Mario's law comes in, which says if there's a giant tube, you're allowed to jump at it and go all the way down and get coins. Even if
as long as there's a lady to save,
As long as you're saving a princess, it's fine. This is providing any person sentenced for an offense committed before their 22nd birthday is eligible for parole after serving 20 years.
Okay.
2025, Stephen's out. He's working as program coordinator for Freedom Reads, a nonprofit based in Hamden, Connecticut. He's on the legislative policy team at Voices of the Experienced, a nonprofit in New Orleans, and has testified before the Connecticut State Legislature in its support of expanded parole eligibility for young offenders. So they also... He and other people who've had this happen formed the Rhode Island Freedom Collective, an advocacy group aimed at giving a voice to those incarcerated and confronting deep-rooted injustices in the criminal justice system. Stephen wrote, and we'll end it here, "As a rudderless and callous 17-year-old, I committed the shameful and regretful crime of murder. The sentencing judge was not tasked with considering all that I would work toward while incarcerated. He only had the senseless death of a 20-year-old young man before him. I was sentenced under the super-predator beliefs." So that's what he says. He says, "Sometimes we deserve what we deserve, and we deserve it when we deserve it. I deserved every bit of that life plus 45 when I was 17. But what about the 30-year-old or 40-year-old that I've become? That asshole deserves it, but I'm a different guy." Good article by J. Malcolm Garcia, by the way, that had some details. And on Facebook, the arguments about this fucking case are wild.
It's going to be forever, too.
It's insane. How dare they? He's a piece of shit. And it's back and forth of equal veracity. So there you go. There is North Smithfield, Rhode Island. We're running late, so we got to bust through this quick. Hope you like that. If you did, get on whatever app you're on. Give us 5 stars. If you're watching on Netflix, definitely do whatever you like or whatever the hell it is on there that you do. Tell everyone you like it. Tell your friends. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is the website. Get your tickets for live shows. February 21st, Nashville. We're coming to see you.
Tennessee.
Get in there. March 6th in Durham, March 7th in Atlanta. Get in there right now. And March 21st at Stand Up Live in Phoenix for your stupid opinions. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all of the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get it all. All the shows we put out, back bonus episodes, new ones every other week. Everything we put out ad-free, and a shout-out at the end of the regular show. This week, the episodes will be Crime and Sports, William Tank Black, college coach, football coach turned agent, turned criminal. Master P's involved in the story. It's wild. STM, we are going to do the Perfect Neighbor documentary. We'll talk about that. A lot of requests. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports. You want to follow us on social media? ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is the best place to do that and find all the menus and do that. And keep coming back and seeing us. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.